In just 1 week in the Greater Toronto Area, the real estate market here has seen a surge of listings of 800. That is more than the first 6 weeks of last year combined. Are some of these buyers actually going to get the upper hand here, or is it just some short-term spike that we're seeing in the numbers? Let's dive in and find out what this means for you in 2025. In this video, what we're going to cover here is the surprising surge. This is something that is not expected here for us, how it actually compares to previous years, and what it means for you here in 2025 if you are a potential home buyer, or if you're maybe just looking to upgrade your current home to your next home, and some strategies here for buyers and for sellers so you can navigate the continually changing market that we have here in the Greater Toronto Area. So last week, the listings have actually skyrocketed from about 14,900 to 15,755. This is an increase of just over 800, so 808 listings in just 7 days. That's a lot of listings in 7 days. For perspective here, it took us 6 weeks, like mentioned earlier, to get similar growth early on in 2024. This kind of surge, we haven't seen it for decades, but the Toronto condos led the way, of course, with 285 new listings, followed by York region, which had 180. Meanwhile, Durham, Peel, Halton regions, they did see smaller, but some increases as well. Now, the reason why we might be seeing some of the actual increase here, it could be the announcement of potential tariffs coming here in the next little while from Donald Trump. It could be a multitude of issues. We could also have a lot of listings that were taken off the market in the December, Christmas time, when people didn't want to have their property on the market, and now they are bringing them back to market now that we're back. People are back to work, kids are back to school. That's potentially a chunk of the listings we're seeing. What makes the start of this year a little bit more unique than we've seen in the past is last year, the inventory did not actually bottom out until mid-February, but in 2025, the shift is happening much earlier. If we can compare the first 14 days of this year to the first 14 days of 2024, we're nearly seeing an increase of 2,000 listings, which is quite a bit of listings. And I think a lot of them are coming from the things I just mentioned, the Christmas break and the tariff announcement recently here. For buyers, this surge could actually mean more options for you, potentially more negotiating power. If we're going to see more listings hit the market, and if we see a pattern here of the increase in the year over year, I think the numbers, unless the sales numbers start to increase, we're actually going to give you guys the opportunity as a buyer to find more negotiating power. You already had a lot of negotiating power as a buyer in the GTA, but you're gonna wanna really be tactical and strategic with it, because if we're seeing 285, I believe it was, we just said, listings that hit the market that were of the condo variety last week out of 800, that's a pretty big sample size or a pretty big amount of listings for you to tap into to compete with the already existing inventory. Remember, this is just new inventory that hit the market. It's not inventory that's sitting there currently. That's a big, big number. Days on market, they're going to pile up over time. A lot of these condos, they're going to sit there. They can't sell immediately. There's just not enough buyers out there willing to dive into the market with the uncertainty still. Although the Bank of Canada is going to hopefully give us that quarter-point reduction. So what does this mean for you as a buyer? The increase in inventory could mean you are going to have potentially more negotiating power and more choices. However, the sales volume is still not doing fantastic. You only had 752 reported sales last week. These are some things that you actually need to pay attention to if you're a buyer to take advantage of the current market. You want to watch the days on market. The longer it's on the market, the higher the chance that the price is going to get reduced, the better the opportunity for you to get a good price on that listing. The next thing is activity on the listings, getting your agent to inquire about properties that you like with the listing agent. How many people are going through? Are they getting a lot of traffic? Was the open house busy? If they're not getting a lot of people through that door, if you're the seller, your mindset is going to be one of discouragement. So the buyer, you want to take full advantage of this and get the opportunity. So as a buyer, you might want to take full advantage of this scenario here and get your foot in that door with an offer just to break the ice and see if you can't get a good deal. Now, if you're selling a property, what does all of this actually translate to for you specifically? Well, surge obviously means more competition, more listings, more competition to your property that might already be on the market or going to hit the market in the near future. So pricing your property strategically might be the most important thing. Now, here are a couple tips that I have in terms of pricing your property and getting it ready for the market. You might need to stage your home. It may cost some money to get that done. Depending on the package that you want to work with us, staging may or may not be included, but staging your home is very valuable, especially if it's a vacant home. You want to showcase what the home can be in its best light. You don't just want to show 4 walls with an empty floor. It's just not going to get you the money that you're hoping for unless it's a property that's going to be torn right down. And pricing competitively, what you want to do here is really dive in with your agent to what's selling in the area and make sure you're listing in that tight pocket of pricing. Don't go crazy. If your average price is $850 in your area and your home is very similar to the home down the road that sold for $850, don't go too crazy and list it in the 9s, because you're going to shoot yourself in the foot right out of the gate, because people can see the other competitive sales that have happened. You're not going to fool anybody by listing your home higher unless you've got some additional value in your property that the other property didn't have. You're going to have to figure out what you need to price your property at to actually sell it, not in this dream scenario of just getting the best price in the world for your home because it's your home. Now, I've got a few predictions and some takeaways here for you guys that I want you to leave with. So, if the trend does continue, we will see a shift, a bigger shift towards buyers in the spring market. And the spring market is not too far from now. About a month and a half, we're going to start to see things pick up. But remember, sellers right now are holding pretty firm on their prices. We've got sellers who will sit there for months if they have to get a price that is a good value based on the recent sale. So don't think that every seller out there is going to just drop their price to sell their home because it's a pain to have your home on the market. No, a lot of sellers, all of their home value is their net worth. So they want to make sure that they get everything they possibly can for their home. For now, I would say monitor the sales volume, monitor the days on market. Once they get over the average in terms of days on market, buyers are going to gain more confidence to pursue these things. And if you're a buyer, I would suggest just track properties you like, how long they've been on the market, and see which ones end up selling where, so you know what to really look for when it comes to negotiating tactics when you're working with your agent to get a deal done for you on that side. And if you're a seller, what you need to do is follow those tips above to make your home stand out, because that's all you can do as a seller is price properly and make your home showcased at its best ability through your media, through your photos, through your staging. Make sure that the home showcases well, and you'll have no problem getting the home sold. If you're planning on buying or selling in the GTA, you can talk to me by shooting me a text message here. I'm happy to chat with you about real estate, whether you're selling, buying, or maybe just inquiring about what it takes to get into the real estate market today. Text me directly or use the link in the pinned comment down below to book a consultation with me. We can figure out what makes sense for you and get ahead of that spring market. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.